Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tek Torrent Podcast. This is episode number 50 of the year. How's everyone doing today? I'm Shinji, your host. As always, let me know if you can or can't hear me, how the stream looks, and how everything is. I see green all across the board on my end. Everything looks good, so just let me know if anything is different for you guys. How's everyone doing today? We're gonna do a quick shout out. We got MC in chat, FA with a copy. Thanks for joining us, MC. And we also got Soul7 says K. By the way, you two are both loyal followers. That is why you have that purple fish next to your name, and we really appreciate it very much. Thank you for everyone that's joining us here today. So, if you guys haven't deduced from the title, today we're gonna be talking about Ethernet cables. That's right, folks. So, Ethernet cables have been around for a long time, but they've gotten better over the years. Today we're gonna be going over Cat5e and Cat6, not Cat6a and not Cat6 shielded, Cat6 unshielded outdoor cable. They're a little different, mostly wire gauge and like insulation items, and I'm going to talk about different tools I'll be using to make it a lot easier to terminate, strip the cables and get them all lined up, and a special type of terminal called a pass-through connector, which makes doing this like 18 times easier. It's much easier. All that and more today on the podcast. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know in the live chat. If not, we're going to get right on into it. So here is a box of Cat5e cable. This is just a normal 1,000 foot cable box. This weighs significantly less than the other type of cable. So let me go to my top view here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So see right here, this is the cable itself, and it's really not that thick compared to the other type of cable. This is actually Cat5e, and as you can see right there, it's 24 American wire gauge. The Cat6 cable is usually 22 or 23 American wire gauge, and this is significantly thinner compared to the other cable we're going to see in a moment here. So keep in mind what this cable looks like. I'm going to leave that right there, and I'm just going to pull off from the spool right behind me that you can't see. So here this is wire from the other spool, and you can see this is the good kind. It is direct burial, but it does not have any gel inside of it. I did not want that kind specifically. It is outdoor rated and it can be buried in the ground. Sometimes they have gel inside, and that is simply to make sure the water doesn't go in as well. So you can see the thickness. So this is you right here, the black cable, and this is the white one, which is the one your significant other tells you not to worry about. You know, knowing you when you're there at all. And you can see the big difference in thickness. So another reason why there's a bit of a difference in thickness is if you look on the inside, it's kind of hard to see, I know, but there is actually a core right there that looks like a plus sign that's helping the cable stay rigid and keeping the twisted pairs away from each other. And that is what gives it a better ability to conduct higher frequencies when it comes to Cat6. So we're gonna go over Cat5e first. So I'm gonna put this box on the ground. I don't really care about the box, we care about the cable. Let me transition back here to the top and see what we got in chat. All right, so let's see. Soul7 says, boo, pass through, no skill needed. Soul7 says, oh, I thought the A was for Asian. No, it is not for Asian. It is for no skills, apparently. But yeah, we're gonna be going over all that and more. I'm gonna transition back here, then I'm gonna go over the type of tools I'll be using. So we got our nice pinout guide. I prefer to use T568B. I'll explain the difference between B and A in a moment, but I prefer to use the B pinout because these twisted pairs, you see the colors are more or less next to each other, except for the middle there. So here's a very important tool. I'm actually gonna zoom in so I don't have to hold this up as high. There we go. So I know it's kind of hard to see. It is a Clean Tools, or Klein Tools, or what do you want to call it. This is what is called a radial stripper, okay? So this has got a spring right here, and you basically stick the wire in here, let go of the spring and twist this around, and it's super convenient. It's got a little blade in there that's, you kind of see it right there. It's barely out just enough to strip the cable. Kind of reminds you of like a cigar stripper, but a little, or a cigar nub cutter, but a little different. And we got here a nice pair of diagonal cutters. and these are going to be pretty important when it comes to getting the ends of the cable nice and straight and cutting off big chunks of cable. Also, I like to keep around a small pair of diagonal cutters. This just lets me get finer details in cutting the ends of the cable real nice and straight. And the star of the show right here is going to be our crimper. This crimper is designed for Cat 6A and above. That's why it looks different like this. And this is the kind that is for pass-through. It'll trim the wires and everything. You can kind of see, if I flip it over and look inside there, you can kind of see the anvils that go in and crunch the cable down. Got a nice little click, you can kind of hear it. Nice click. And screwdrivers, you might be wondering, why do you have screwdrivers for Ethernet cables? Well, I'll explain to you in just a moment. This is gonna really make your cable termination a lot easier. And of course, we got some cheap boots. I personally don't like these. I like the clear kind that go on the ends of the cable, but these are just boots I have. I've had these for years. I got these, I got like a couple of packs of these from a job a while ago when I was doing a security camera system for someone, and we had a bunch left over, and they said they didn't want them, so I just took them. These are what we call the pass-through RJ45 Cat 6A, Cat 6 and Cat 6A connectors. We're only going to be using Cat 6 today, not Cat 6A. They're two different things. And it's nice because you can go right through onto the other side. No need to worry about trimming them to length. And this is where it might get kind of controversial. This is my tester kit that I use. It's pretty simple. It's not good at anything other than telling you that you've been terminated correctly. That's about all it can do, and it can also trace cables as well. So now that I've gone over all the tools I'm going to be using, let's transition back, take a look at live chat real quick. What we got in here? Creating Space. What the heck is Creating Space doing here? Creating Space says, how's the Razer working since fix? Ah, you're talking about this laptop right here. Yeah, so it's actually been working very well. So right now it's plugged into main power, and usually right now this thing would be screaming because it's overheating. It's nice and quiet. I don't know if you could hear that. I got noise cancellation on, so you might not be able to hear it. There's a little bit of heat coming out right here, but it's nice and quiet. Very quiet. Make sure to knock off that secret thing behind the laptop that you guys aren't supposed to see yet. Some of you might have seen it. We're gonna not talk about that. Just gonna ignore that's even there. Yeah, so it's working pretty well. If you guys don't know, this laptop, the cooler, the heatsink cooler inside of it broke. It actually developed a hole, and all the the phase change liquid inside came out. So the heat pipes and all that stuff in there just basically became ineffective. And the vapor chamber is basically, well, a chamber, an empty chamber with like a lot of wicking surfaces. And if there's no vapor to wick and condense and transfer heat, it kind of does nothing almost. I mean, it's not as bad as having no heat sink, but it's pretty much nothing. So this thing was overheating like crazy, and it was not doing well. But it's doing much better. I already played a full game of Call of Duty on it. Max settings, everything maxed out. It's been working fantastic, nice and quiet. It doesn't overheat anymore. Oh, let me, so before the cooler broke, the CPU actually did have problems staying at around 90 degrees. It still does that. So that tells me it's not really that much defective or anything like that. Maybe that's just how it was designed. The CPU still does get close to like 90, 100 degrees, but it doesn't ever thermal throttle or reheat. The GPU doesn't go past 80 degrees anymore, which is fantastic. By the way, that is all in Celsius for those of you that are curious. So I really haven't had any issues with this thing overheating anymore. And that cooler replacement in that last video a couple of weeks ago, fantastic, works perfectly fine. Best, what is the best $300 something I ever spent. Now, was it worth it? I don't know, but finding that specific cooler for this specific laptop was difficult because this is the Razer Blade 17 Pro with a 3080 and a, what is that? I think it's an i something. Yeah, it's an i7 10th gen. Finding the cooler for this was difficult because there's a lot of coolers out there, a lot of heat sinks for 15-inch, but not for the 17-inch. Those were difficult to find. Let's see, creating, so Soul7 says, don't know, he never shipped it to me. The laptop? You want me to ship this laptop to you? Dude, I don't know. You need like a rough and tumble laptop, man. You need one of them Panasonic like tough books. You know those ones that like they throw on the ground and it's totally fine. You know, you need one of those. Techman TY, welcome to the live stream. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. He says, hello. Techman TY says, no warranty, question mark. So this laptop, there might be some controversy with this, but basically I had it in this orientation for about, I don't know, 2 years. Obviously it was doing heavy computational GPU rendering. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. And I don't know if it had anything to do with it, because when it was in this orientation, all the fluid for the vapor chamber, well, the vapor chamber is like this now instead of being flat. So all the fluid went to the bottom. I don't know if that made much of a difference. I really don't, but it might have, I'm not sure. So yeah, this does come with like a 1-year warranty or something like that. I was well past the warranty period. So Razer said, go kick rocks. You can buy a new laptop if you like though. They didn't even really offer repair services, which was kind of weird because, you know, like Apple, you just pay them a bunch of money and they'll fix it for you. But yeah, it was well past the warranty. This laptop is actually 3 years old at this point, even though it only has a 3080 in it. I basically got this laptop. This is the first generation of 3080 laptops from Razer. This comes complete with the special, I could actually show you guys here. Let me unplug it from power. And I'm gonna transition to the top view. This actually has the 360 hertz display, which is fantastic. It's right there. 360 hertz display. It isn't G-Sync, but it is a very nice display. It's got 3080 in it, all this other good stuff. It's a pretty slick looking laptop. It's very nice. The screen's nice and bright, doesn't really have any issues or anything. I like it quite a bit. It's quite nice. Actually, I'm gonna try leaving this not into power. Oh no, it's gonna turn, I haven't set the power settings right, so I'm gonna leave it plugged in. I have too many efficiency settings that this thing will just turn off if I don't leave it plugged in. Techman TY says, that's bulky though, should sell part. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I mean, it is a fat laptop. This thing is basically a thin desktop replacement. It's huge. I used to take this with me on travels. I got a 14-inch somewhere hanging out. I don't know where I put it. I was just traveling with it. It's around here somewhere. I got a nice 14-inch. Is this it right here? Nope, it must be, I have it way over there, but I'm not gonna leave camera. I'm not gonna get out of frame to get that right now. It was pretty good. I mean, it's got a 1650 Ti in it, the 14-inch. And it weighs like 3 pounds or 4 pounds or whatever. It's really great. That's all you really need. This beast of a laptop is kind of hard to carry around. So anyways, guys, we're gonna get back to this right here. So got all of our tools. Real quick, we're gonna put batteries in our testing equipment real quick. So I'm just gonna put this all aside. We're gonna switch over to top view and you're gonna join me while I put batteries in things. And I do have chat right next to me, so let me know if you have any questions. I got my nice lithium 9-volt batteries. Yes, they do make genuine lithium 9-volt batteries. These have like a really long shelf life, and being that these testers I don't really use very often, I'm just gonna use these in here because it's kind of overkill. But hey, here at TekShinji, we do two things. We spend too much money and we do overkill. So it wouldn't be a TekShinji video unless we put in batteries that are worth way more than these testers. After the fact, I'm going to leave links to all the products below in the description of this video. I really didn't have time to formulate that part of the plan, so we're going to just I'll do that after the fact. Out of all the things here, I'd say the most useful thing is probably this radial stripper. It really does get that part of cutting off that first bit of cable, the outer cable. Makes it so much easier. I'll show you guys in a moment. Now, here's the magic of the radial stripper, okay? So, in the past, you'd have to like kind of do one of these or use a knife or something and try to cut this outer sheathing off without harming any of the wires on the inside. And that, my friends, at least for me, is exceedingly difficult. So what I would do is take this radial stripper, right? It's spring loaded. You can see the spring right there. Just like a cigar cutter, right? Not that I smoke, obviously. I'm gonna put it into the hole. Sometimes I have a hard time finding it, but that is, you know, recognized, and, you know, just to help me keep it all, you know, in the same place. Let's see. Techman TY says, I straighten them out by pinching them too. Sometimes they get nicked and will break. That way the wire is straightened and you know if it will fail. That's a good, very good point. Creating Space says, does the crimper not have a straight cut blade? Does it? Yeah, I mean, it does. Has one right there. Oh, you guys can't see that. Let me transition over. So it has one right there. So yeah, I mean, I could use it. Here, let me cut off a bit here. Let's see how well this one works. So I'm gonna put it right there, and then I'm just gonna, oh, that's a nice clean cut. You know, that's actually pretty good. I like that. Oh wow. I didn't know that was there. I guess I don't need these anymore. I was this many years old when I learned that that's what that did. Huh. That's pretty cool, man. I actually did not know that straight cut blade did that. What's this right here? Oh, that's got a strip on it too. Wow, I should actually look at the tools I buy, right? Oh man. I didn't know that was there. That's kind of cool. All right, so now we got a nice easy length of cable. I'm gonna put a glove on one hand because this part kind of tends to stress out one of my fingers. So I'll hold the cables in my right hand, and then just remember the order doesn't really matter. So at least right now. So what I'm gonna do is use the smooth barrel of the screwdriver and put my thumb against it and kind of pull. And I'll do that a few times. And what that effectively does, it makes the wire like almost perfectly straight, and that'll become important later. So we're gonna do that for all the wires. There we go. Is that a fly? Where's my torch when I need it? I need to kill that damn fly. So I'm gonna do this a few times on every wire. Because right now, since they were twisted, they're kind of wavy. And this will just take that wave out of it, and it'll make it a lot easier to deal with after we're done. Now, this is a step that you technically don't really need to do, but I like to do it. If I was paid, you know, by the hour, if I was paid per job, I'd probably figure out a faster way to do this. But if you guys know, let me know in live chat. I obviously learned something today because I did tell you guys I don't know what I'm doing. So that kind of straightened them out a lot easier, and it's gonna make our pass-through connections that much better. Don't worry about the tips because we're gonna give those a nice snippy snip, and it's gonna be nice and straight instead of being all crooked. So let's take a look at chat real quick. Let's see. Techman TY says it does matter. You can lose your wire twist. Does matter. You can lose your wire twist. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you explain that? Maybe because I might have moved on from that part of the conversation. I'm not sure what that's about. Let me know. Soul7 says crossover. What America is doing right now? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Tane says always use B. Nobody uses A in the USA. Yeah. At least we agree on something. Man, that's why I like you, Tanes. We disagree on a lot of things, but I still love you because there's one thing we can still agree on. That's got to be it. Crypto Tito says that's the only tool I use. Soul7 says you read how they go in and they pass through. And on the other side, since this is designed for Cat 6, they're actually kind of staggered. They're actually, let me see if there's a picture of it on here. See right there? They're kind of staggered like that. They're not actually straight. Kind of go up and down like that. Now at this point, I like to double check. So the wires are already in. It's not going to go anywhere. I like to double check to make sure. So I go, all right, is that orange? Orange stripe, solid orange, green stripe. We got a blue solid, blue stripe, green, orange. Wait. See, I'm confusing myself. I gotta double check to make sure that's actually orange and not brown. Yep, that's brown, not orange. And we got brown. Now, you see how the cable is kind of not all the way in? You want to get it all the way in. Okay, just give it a little bit of force. And you want it to seat all the way down. I like to use a glove in this hand while I'm doing this. But on these thinner Cat5e cables, this is a lot easier. So, kind of get it in there like that. And then I like to just twist it like that so it doesn't fall out. And then you put the crimper on it, put it into the appropriate hole. If you put it in the wrong one, it won't work. It actually won't even go in and it probably will get mad at you. Don't ever put it in the wrong hole, guys. I learned the hard way. So you put it in just like that. I like to tug on the cables a little bit to make sure that it's fully in there. And then you just kind of get a good grip on it. And then it's going to all break off just like that. And that anvil will come down and crush everything. And you can kind of see how the colors, they're staggered. And it's punched down all of them. And if you did this correctly, you should not be able to take this out. Now, it appears my boot has fallen off. Remember, we did put this on before, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on right now because it just slid off. And then the boot goes on just like that. There we go. Almost perfectly terminated. Now, these terminals are designed for Cat 6A or Cat 6, not technically Cat 5e, so these might be kind of loose. I don't know. We'll find out in just a moment. All right, I'm gonna go switch back and take a look at live chat real quick and see what's going on. Let's see. Who we got here? Soul7 says, you need better hand strength. I just do it with my fingers. Yeah, I remember. Siffy really? I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. Let me know in live chat if I'm saying it wrong. Hi, Shinji. Really love your live streams. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Soul7 says they look so soft. ... They are actually not that soft. We're talking about my hands, right? TechmanTY says the wire is 4 pair that are twisted pair. If you don't couple 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 as twisted pairs, you lose your twist and data will have latency or get lost. No way, I actually did not know that. Really? Okay, that's good to know, man. I actually didn't know that. CPPC Tech, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining the live stream. Fixation 500, whoa, we got another mod in here. How you doing, man? What it do, party people? I'm in the shower listening, but not able to chat. You're in the shower? Okay, that's some dedication. It is brown, yes. Well, this box is brown. Colorblind too. Yeah, I actually have a coworker that's colorblind, and he was in the EOD. So tell me how that even worked, right? Soul7 says colorblind. TechmanTY strain relief. Yes, strain relief is definitely something you always want in your cables. It also protects the little clip there from breaking off. I've seen so many Ethernet cables with that clip broken off. Fixation 500 says I always get it all the way in, but never use a glove. Yeah, I always try to get it in with gloves on. That way it doesn't like get this part of my hand all calloused. So this is like, if I hold it, this is where my fingers are touching. This is where I get a lot of calluses on my hands. And I like to make sure that those calluses don't transfer and get onto my fingers, because I want to keep my hands nice and supple so I can actually feel things when I'm working in fine electronics and stuff. Benz Z310, if it fits good, why pull out? I mean, that's a very good point. Like, you know, in some of these holes, you know, you just can't fit very well. It takes quite a bit of force, and, you know, then the pliers will get very upset. You don't want to get the pliers upset. They get upset, they won't work with you very well. So you always want to make sure you put it into the appropriate hole that fits just like a glove. It's pronounced Cipher Ally. Oh, okay, thank you. Cipher Ally. I'll try to remember that. Cipher Ally. All right, yeah, I'll try to remember that. Cipher Ally. Thank you for joining the live stream, and thank you for letting me know how to pronounce your name. Techman T Wise has been doing networking since the late 90s, bud. Yeah, I've only been doing networking for like maybe 10 years, and I've only done really simple stuff. I don't even have like a legit meter to test my connections to make sure that they're, you know, actually right. I just only have it for continuity to make sure that all the numbers line up. Techman TY is halfway there. Late 90s, so you're in your hundreds now? Oh, that's funny. Different century, I suppose. All right, so we're gonna do a quick one on the other end of this cable just to give you a demonstration, and then we're gonna move on to the Cat 6A. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna continue on to this cable because you guys all know what Cat 5e looks. We've had this for 20, 30 years or something like that. You guys all know. I'm going to just not work on this cable. I'm gonna work on the Cat 6A, which is much better. So just gonna put that over there. And here we go. Got our nice Cat 6A cable. It's much thicker, it's much more heavy duty. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off a piece of this. Let's see here, I'm gonna just kind of manipulate it, get it straight, and I'm gonna do a little choppy right here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use my new things right here. Oh, it actually almost doesn't fit. It's almost too big. I'm gonna go in there. Oh wow, that is such a clean cut. I like that. Man, how come I did not know about this before, man? Such a clean cut, I like it. All right, so got that nice clean cut. Same thing, we're gonna take our radial strippers and, oh wait, this also has radial strippers. Let me give that a try. Let's see if that does the same thing. Oh, I didn't go down enough. So let me put about right there. Kind of see it right there, right? Yep. Go down, keep the blade till it just cuts into it. I feel like that's cutting too much though. Feels like it's cutting all the way down into it. Oh, that was actually just about right. Nice. All right, so I usually like to cut back much further than that because I like to have a lot of working room. So I'm gonna go back a little bit more. The blade coming down right there. And I'm just going to do another twisty. I'm actually going the wrong way, there we go. All right, there, now we got a little bit extra. Here's the plastic. And then there's the sheath. The sheath isn't cut, so it looks like we did not cut into any of our cables, so that's good. So what I like to do is kind of do one of these and just do that, and be careful not to snip your wires. And cut that little, so I believe this is a strip cord. This allows you to strip more of the wire. I would demonstrate that, but I'm not going to right now because we're not going to use that. Now remember guys, this is a Cat 6 non-A, non-shielded. So these wire gauges are about 1 gauge thicker, okay? And as you can see, there's that core in the middle that separates the 4 twisted pairs. And that is to help it transmit higher frequencies. Now, there's a lot of controversy and all this stuff, but according to what I was told by a network professional, the actual signal does not flow through the core of the wire. It flows through, imagine this was one wire. The signal flows on the outside edge of the wire instead of through it. That is what they told me. I don't know how true that is. So you really don't want to make inconsistencies in the outer diameter of your wire, is what I was told. So we're going to be very careful and just snip this core out right there. Careful not to cut any wires. There we go. And as you can see, the wires on this Cat 6A are much thicker. Way thicker, in fact. So remember, we don't want to make that mistake again. We're going to put our boot on before we start manipulating. And you can see it doesn't just slide on anymore. It's actually quite tight. So we're going to have to give it some force and kind of jam it on there. Don't worry, it'll go. Just got to keep going. After you get to that first part, it's a lot easier to go on. So I like to get it to about right there And one thing I like about these boots when they're tight, when you have a long cable, it can get manipulated. It's hard to really keep it from rotating. Now you have a place to grip and keep it from rotating. It doesn't do that. You got a place to hold it. So then we're going to do our, we're going to use that same trick again. Where'd that piece of tubing go? Here it is. And it's not tubing, it's cable insulation. So these are much more twisted than the previous one. And this is where it makes it a lot easier. See how that just comes out? And I'm gonna do this one right here. Yeah, I will look at live chat in just a second. Let me just finish these 4 pairs and we'll look at the live chat. Just kind of goes on right there, just like that. And then over here, I should have stripped back a little bit more because this feels like a lot less working length than I'm used to. I usually like having plenty of working length. That way, if anything happens, it's a lot easier to recover from if you mess up or something like that. So now we got some really ugly, like, you know, these are really stiff. Much stiffer compared to the other black cable. Usually the black cables are thicker, but this white one's pretty thick compared to that one. All right, let's take a look at chat real quick. All right, what do we got going on here? Let's see. What the heck is going on, Techman TY? Huh? Fixation, what happened? The baby grabbed your phone and muted you and unsubscribed me. What? Oh, we're gonna blame it on your baby now. You're gonna blame it on Needle, okay. Techman TY, if you're still watching, for some reason the baby apparently did something to you, so we're gonna try to undo that. Let's see. Fixation, if you don't mind undoing your effery on Techman TY and fixing that. Let's see. Fixation 500 says another soft hands. The ad fixation. I also have crappy Amazon termination tools. Ben Z says fancy. Yeah, I like that tool. It's pretty nice. TekShinji says that is correct. Yes, thank you, Taines. Taines says DC power runs through the core of the wire. Signal runs along the outside of the wire. Yeah, okay. I'm glad that I was at least told something correct. Crypto Shaped, how you been, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for joining. Hope everything's going well. Crypto Shape, I have one of your mementos right here. Let's see, I'm gonna transition over here. Hope you remember this, because I do. I keep it next to my heart. Keep it very close to me, so I would never forget. I actually took this to my machine shop and tried to polish the top, and that didn't work, so I stopped because I don't want to take off more than like 10,000ths, because then the engraving would go away. All right, I'm gonna put this back because no one's gonna notice ever that it's there at all. All right, let me do something here real quick to make sure this is all kosher. And then we're gonna go ahead and transition back. Looks like Techman TY, looks like you're back. Looks like they fixed it. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing to get that wire nice and straight. Put on our nice gloves. These are actually my favorite gloves because they are not just dipped, they also stay grippy. A lot of gloves that you get, they're too smooth and they don't grip on anything, and then you're actually using more force to hold on to things. It's quite annoying. So we're gonna go ahead and hold the cable in this hand, yep. And move these all over and do one of these. Like I said, just do it a few times and it'll make the cable nice and straight. Move that out of the way. And I just, like 3 times is usually pretty good. Sometimes it requires more than 3, but 3 seems to be pretty good for me. And like I said, remember the ends kind of don't matter how they end up because we're going to chop those off in a moment anyway. Now, usually you're doing this on much longer runs of cable. This is a nice short piece, so it's a lot easier to manipulate. But when you have longer runs of cable, it's always fighting you and twisting and moving around. So that is something to consider when you're doing this. That looks good. I'm gonna do this. Oh, move these out of the way. And this is also a good way to find out if you nicked the stripping, or sorry, nicked the insulation on one of these cables when you're cutting, because then it will just come off. The insulation will just come off, you'll have a bare wire, and then you'll know you probably need to re-terminate it. You probably need to cut it off and start over, because you got a nicked conductor, and you don't want that conductor to be nicked. Again, you don't want it to vary in size, because like Taines agrees with me, is what a network professional once told me, is that the signal travels on the outside, and electricity, like, you know, power, travels on the inside of the core. So now that we got them more or less straightened, we're gonna go ahead and follow our guide. Now on this one, it's a more premium cable, so the colors between orange and brown are a lot more pronounced, so it's a lot easier for me to tell. Got orange stripe, solid orange, green. Is that a fly? Man, where's my torch? I need my torch. Got my torch right here, folks. We're ready to go. Take off the safety. I can't do this one-handed. Unlocked. Release the gas. It's way over there. I'm not gonna get it right now. Arcoantos, or something like that. Not exactly sure what that is. I would have flattened the cable before pushing it in. Yes, I would normally do that, obviously, because I know what I'm doing. Duh. I was just making sure to see if you guys were paying attention. If I do it wrong, someone would point it out, showing that you're paying attention. Yeah, that's totally what I was doing. Soul 7 says preemptive timeout on the fixation 500. I will ban you, Soul 7, for not properly checking the clavicle. That's an inside joke. For those of you who don't know what a clavicle is your wishbones, you know, your bones right here. It is the distance between your shoulders and this area right here, the clavicle. That is a certain trait between your assigned gender at birth that is very difficult to control because of hormones and all that good stuff. Crypto Shape says, one day you're gonna burn this entire studio down on live stream. Specman TY says, 84F out here. No, come on, Crypto Shape. I've been using this torch for years and I haven't burned anything yet. Did I get him? No, he's over here. Hold on. Come over here. Where'd you go? Man, he was like right there. I should have lunged forward and burned him. I need to get one of them electric rackets that don't do anything. And just try to like, oh, there he is. Come on, hold on 1 second. Did he just land? I think he just, nope, he's right here. I keep saying it's a he. It could be a she. I don't know. I can't assume these things, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and terminate the other end of this. And then we're gonna go into the testing. So we got this end terminated right here. So we're gonna go ahead and use this tool. Actually, you know what? Let me use a radial stripper on this so I can show you how it works. So, oh, this end looks kind of gnarly, so we're gonna go ahead and give that a, ooh, no. We're gonna use this. Get it in there. I'm gonna give it a nice, oh, wrong way. I'm gonna put this in here, just like that. I'm gonna give it a nice clean cut. Oh yeah, look at that nice clean cut that it makes. It's nice. Use a radial cutter, put it on, get it to about right there, nice, plenty of length. Twisty, twisty, twist. Let go, and then just comes off. Just like that. Remember, don't throw this piece away yet, because you're gonna need it. Plastic, fabric. Not sure what the fabric is for. I think it's to protect it from cutting. Not exactly sure. I think it's like an armor. Go ahead and chop off the plastic. Chop off the fabric. Nice cut. I'm gonna pull these aside. And then we're going to chop off the core. This is like a rigid core. that actually looks like a little plus sign. Kind of see it there? And that separates the cables. We're going to go and chop that off carefully, making sure not to nick any of our wires. And then we're going to undo these wires. Just use my thumb and separate the tips of them. Just like that. And then we're going to stick this on the smooth side. And then we're just going to stick it on, and we're just going to follow it, twist it down. Just like that. Same thing over here. All right, so now we got them all separated, right? We're gonna try to get them in some order. Orange stripe. So I'm gonna kind of not make it so they don't go over each other. I'm gonna put that right there so you guys can see against the black. So orange stripe, solid orange, uh-oh. So sometimes when you feel that they're really loose, it could be a sign that you cut it, but I did not. It's just loose for, it's probably because it's a short length of cable, and it's a lot easier to manipulate. So orange stripe, solid orange, green stripe. It's green, right? Not blue? Okay, good. Green stripe, solid blue. Okay. We're gonna have blue stripe, right? Green, solid, brown stripe, brown. So now we got our cables all in the right order. Same deal, put a glove on my hand. And we're going to, oh, there's the fly. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Man, that thing was like hovering. I don't know if you guys saw that on camera. That thing went right through the camera path. All right, so flip these all over that way. I'm gonna make these just like that. And the straighter you make these, the easier it will be to do the next step. And again, remember, don't worry about the end. We make it over length for a reason, because we can just chop it off and deal with that at a later time, because we're going to chop it off. So let me know in live chat, have you guys done Ethernet cable stuff before? If you haven't, if you have, let me know. Don't want this stream to go too long. I want to finish the stream with showing how we test them to make sure that they work. I want to at least get to that. If we can't, I might end it at this part right here. I'm going to try to keep the stream within an hour and a half. Don't want it to be any longer than that. So we're going to go ahead, and now we got them all more or less straightened out. I'm going to try to get them in the right order. So orange stripe, solid orange, green stripe, solid blue, blue stripe, brown, no, blue stripe. After blue stripe is solid green, so that goes right there. Brown stripe and brown. Now, I messed up again, guys. Remember what I didn't do? So I forgot to put the boot on. So remember to do this before. Basically, maybe you should do this first thing before you even strip it off. Because then you'll have all these like ends right here you got to deal with. Sometimes that gets a little gnarly. But with enough force, you can get it on. Not all things in life you could get done with force, but some things you can. So now we got to redo all of our wiring here. So orange stripe, orange solid. I'm looking for a green stripe. There's green stripe. Blue solid. Blue solid right there, yep. Got a blue stripe. Green, blue, yep. Blue stripe, green solid. Brown stripe, brown solid. Just like that. And then I'm just gonna kind of bring them all together. Just like that. All right, let me take a look at live chat before we continue on here. Okay, let's see. What do we got going on? Wow, you guys are really talking, huh? Let's see. Orocanas? Electric fly swatter is more effective. Yes, it is, but for slow-moving bugs like mosquitoes, fire works great because it burns off their wings and makes them immobile. Techman TY, you ever actually burn one? Yes, I have had burned many on other live streams. Flies not as much, mostly mosquitoes. Soul7 says, I'm in PJs, 59 degrees. You stitch PJs? No, those are at home. Fixation 500, Shinji, did you get that terminating tool for a price? Are you talking about this Klein Tools one? This one right here? I think I paid full price. I think it was like 50 bucks. I can't remember. It's a very good termination tool. Apparently this is all you need. You don't even need this radial stripper anymore. It's everything you need for everything. Let's see. Techman TY, fabric is strain relief. The plastic divider helps reduce crosstalk. Yes, that is correct. It keeps them separate. It also thinks it makes the cable more rigid too. So the plastic is strain relief. So that makes sense. Does that mean like the fabric is strain relief? Does that mean like the fabric allows the cable to twist and flex without like catching on itself because it's like kind of slippery? Is that what it means? Tane says that white cable 6A. Yes, Tanes, it is 6A. It is non-shielded 6. I'm sorry, it is non-shielded Cat 6. It's not Cat 6A. Soul 7. I'm probably the only person in the world that got their arse kicked by a rabbit. Oh yeah, what happened, man? You told me like the rabbit kicked you in the eye or something. I thought you were making that up. Did that actually happen? Fixation 500. My ex-girlfriend thought one at me once. Huh? Okay, I'm not exactly sure how to read that sentence, Fixation. You're gonna have to resend it. Thile Norris Times. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome, or man or person. Welcome to the live stream, bro. Thanks for being here. Like a pro. Yeah, man, like a pro. I forgot to put it on. Soul 7, triggered. Conductors, not cables. Yes, they're conductors. Wires, conductors. Ran my entire house and a few hotels. Nice, yeah. Techman TY, you're trying to burn Jeff Goldblum's Baby, the Fly movie. Oh, no. Was that Jeff Goldblum in there? Yeah, I know he's kind of older. I didn't know he went... That's an old movie, man. I didn't know that was him. I actually never seen it. Arcanthanos, I wish I learned to make cables sooner because I had bad cables from my modem to router wrongly terminated would drop out daily. Dude, so every experience I had when the cables are wrongly terminated is that it just simply doesn't work, which is good, better than it working kinda, because it gives you false impressions. Every time I've done it wrong, it just didn't work. Like it was like no internet connection. So I've been very lucky with that. Since then, I got a tester and I'll show you how that works in just a minute. Soul 7, showing your age. Techman TY, older and wiser. Yep, the dude on Jurassic Park. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. I actually met him in person at a show. I was doing security for the line right next to him. Cool guy. He's not as a douchebag as like all the other actors. He's actually not bad. He's actually like that in real life. All right, so we're gonna go back to top view here and we're gonna go ahead and go to sliding on the terminal and all that good stuff. All right, let's see here. So it looks like we maintained it. I'm just gonna look here to make sure that everything looks right. Yep, looks like we're good still. So again, I'm gonna get this nice and straight as best as I can. And then I'm going to take my flush cutters, just snip it off. That way it's nice and straight. And that it's just to make it easier to do. That way these conductors don't kind of bend and go whatever. And it's a lot easier to push into this. There's a bunch of holes right here. And it gets automatically staggered, if you can kind of see that. Automatically gets kind of staggered as it comes out. And again, put my glove on because I don't want to damage my hands. And I'm just gonna try to get it pinched and get all that fabric and stuff underneath. There we go. and shove it in there with a decent amount of force. All right, there we go. So it's in there. Again, this is your last chance to check before you crimp it. So orange stripe, orange solid, and after a while you actually start to memorize cable patterns. I am not at that point yet. I don't do this often enough. I just did my house for an access point and stuff like that. I need to figure out how to set up VLANs and stuff. It's ubiquity, so it's all visual. It's a lot easier. There's no command line nonsense. I mean, really, who knows how to actually do that, right? So we're gonna go ahead and put this in our nice tool, just like that. Remember, stick it in all the way, and you'll know because the tool will give you a confirmation noise, like that. No moans or anything, just a confirmation noise. And again, we're gonna go down, and that's gonna cut all that. Now, I did it this way so I could show the camera. There's finger grips here. You're supposed to actually do it like this. And there, we're fully crimped down. This thing is pinched. And we're gonna just try to get that back on. Just like that. There we go. And now we got a nicely made Cat 6 cable. Very nice. It looks pro. Looks like a little mini patch cable. It's about like 8 inches or so. I wouldn't know. I don't have anything that's that long. Anyways, let's take a look at live chat. And let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Fixation 500 says my ex thought a rabbit at me and she missed and it went through the wall. She threw a rabbit at you and missed and went through the wall. Now, we all know what you're talking about when you mean rabbit, like a bunny, obviously. Fixation 500 says, wait, what kind of rabbits are we talking about? Soul 7 says, sadly, yes, need to see eye doc when I fly back in. He punctured my eye and busted a blood vessel in my eyelid. Yo, dude, really? That sucks, man. I would like murder that rabbit. He doesn't deserve to live if he's gonna hurt me. Yeah, no way, bro. Okay, so now we're gonna use our fancy tools to actually, hold on a second, guys. I'm not gonna let this camera die on me randomly. I'm gonna go check this camera because I still haven't figured out a way to power it and keep it on. So we got 22% battery, which is good. So that should be just enough time to frickin' burn this fly out of the sky. Where are you? I just saw him. He was just like sitting on, when he's landed on something, I could get him. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do some cable testing, and I'm gonna show you how all this fancy tool stuff work. Clear our work area, make it a little bit neater. Okay, so here's the tester. Now, let's say I need to find, so we're gonna plug it in right here, right? Just like that, okay? Let's say I have this cable routed somewhere and I don't know which one it is, right? So we're just gonna hit this to scan. And then on here, and turn it on, I'm gonna hit the scan button right here. You guys, let me know if you can hear that. Can you hear that noise? Dee, 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 dee. So basically how that works, I'm going all over looking through my patch panel as I get closer. Okay, this is it. If I go to the conductors. Oh, yep, that's it. It's super loud. That's it. But over here, I hear nothing. Very little. Then, yep, I hear it right here. Just like that. So that is how you can trace which conductor it is. Now, here's another thing we're going to do is we're going to check to see if we made our connection right. So it's plugged in here, and now we're going to plug it into the bottom of this. And then, see all these lights come on? That's good, because that means they all have power. But that's not what we care about, okay? We're gonna go to network on the control here. And I'm actually gonna do this, that way it's correct, more or less. Because that way the numbers will all be in line. So now we're on network, and then we're gonna hit test. So these numbers should go down in sequential order. Oh, not unless I unplug it. 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. So that might be a problem. We might have done this wrong. So 6 and 7 aren't coming up. Oh, they are coming up. It's just because of how thick this cable is, it's not making a good connection. Here, let me do this. Do something like that. That way you guys can see it. Now, remember the signal travels on the outside of the cable, so you really don't want to kink it like that. That's kind of not good for it. There we go. Got a better connection. So now you can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this tells you that all the conductors are the same. It doesn't tell you that you wired it in the sense that you follow the guide. It just means the conductors on each end are like 1 is 1, 2 is 2, and that's what you want. Like I said, it doesn't really matter how you wire it for straight through, as long as it's the same on both ends, and that's what you want. So if you're like remote, right, you put this in the control room somewhere, what you're looking for is sequential, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you're in the router room or whatever, it's to start it at 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's what you want. Just like that. I'm gonna turn test off and turn this off, or turn it off, and then turn this off. And that is how you check basic wiring. This will not tell you like frequencies, how well the cable's doing, you know, how clean it is, all that weird stuff. This is not a multi-hundred-dollar fluke meter, but this should be good enough for most people when it comes to networking stuff, when you're doing your own cable terminations. This should be more than enough. So, we got all that done. And that is how you make, I might actually keep this. It's actually not bad. Even though I kinked it a bunch of times. It's a nice Cat 6 patch cable. It's kind of stiff, but you know, sometimes stiff is good because, you know, better than being kind of flaccid and loose, right? All right, let's take a look at chat real quick. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even, there we go. Give you some B-roll of that cable. That's what it looks like. Looks nice, right? Almost looks like a pro made it. It's like something you would buy at the store. All right, let's go back to live chat and see what's going on here. Let's see. Fixation says, Rabbit story ended. He isn't called Lord King Stitch of the Highest for nothing. He rules the house. Yuck. Techman T-Way, that kink got me shook bruda. Sorry, man, I apologize. Carnos, mine went from 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on my bad cable and worked, but randomly dropped out sometimes to 100 megabits, sometimes going back to 1 gigabit, but the dropouts were annoying. Yeah, man, that is something that I am very conscious of when I'm trying to do my cabling and stuff, because I really don't want bad cables. Especially when you do all the work like on a camera or something all up in the sky, like on the ladder. I'm working on content on that, by the way. And you terminate the cable and you put it up there. You really don't want to find out after you put everything together that the cable's, you know, terminated incorrectly. So the ones that are like up on a ladder, what I do is I actually run the cable too long, right? That way I could terminate it on the ground, okay? And then I terminate it at the end where the router is or the switch is, whatever. I get it all hooked up, I put the camera on, I test it, make sure it works totally fine, I jiggle it a little bit, then I pull extra cable and I just have slack on the other end wrapped up. To me, it's way simpler than if I made a mistake and it's already tied up and, you know, wire tied in and everything, and, you know, wire tie down, wire hammer down in. It's really difficult because then it's like perfect size. If you cut any off to redo it, then it's gonna be too short. I always leave about a foot or more of slack on every end of the cable anyway. That's just something I learned, you know, back in the day. Because, you know, what if you want to move your network rack, like, you know, 3 inches to the left or whatever. You don't want exact lengths on everything. It can get kind of annoying. So right now is going to be going to the ending portion of the stream. This is kind of what I wanted to go over. If you have any questions about network stuff or how I do this, let me know if you want to see anything in future videos or whatnot. Just like Taines confirmed with me earlier, the network signal flows, like pretend this was one conductor, it was a wire. It flows on the outside. Pro doorbell came in stock suddenly and I was like, okay, bye. You know, just like the GPU days when things were not in stock. So I like totally jumped on that as fast as I can. I'm gonna take a look at chat real quick and then we're gonna go ahead and go into the end of this live stream. Arcanos, let me know if I'm saying that right. I feel bad for butchering your name. People say my name wrong all the time. I don't really mind as much, but I know a lot of people might care about that. So let me know if I'm saying it wrong. Let me know the correct way of saying it. Mine went, so he said, same professional said it was done bad as well, but did not fix it. Oh, that's stupid, dude. Techman TY, gotta go into Walmart and buy steak and chicken. Hopefully it won't get sick. Good luck. What do you mean get sick? I hope you don't get sick, man. I don't want you to get sick. Take care, man. Thank you for joining for the length of the live stream. Really appreciate you being here, man. It really does mean a lot. And of course, the same thing to everyone that's here. Thank you for joining me on the live stream. Usually it's on Saturdays. Yesterday I had a lot going on. I was just too tired. I didn't want to be on camera, super tired. Doing this does take a lot of energy for me at least. So I appreciate everyone joining this week. It's been a lot of fun showing you how network cables are made. Let me know if you like this format. Comment down below in the either in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching after the fact. If you like this type of format, I think it's a little bit more entertaining. I got a top cam to show things. Just let me know if you like it or not, because if you like it, I'll just keep going like this instead of being like a talking head. I think this is a lot more entertaining to watch because I'm actually doing something, or you might even learn something. Who knows? Let's see. Is there anyone else? Let's see. Rock Cantos. So, oh, the beginning part is rock, not arc. A rock cantos. A rock cantos. A rock can. A rock con like con from oh gosh, Star Trek. Con from Star Trek, right? A rock cantos. A rock cantos. Wow, that's a little bit difficult to pronounce, but I'll try to remember it, man. Fixation 500 says, "Where's Timo at? Format is horrible." Oh, you don't like it, man? I hope it gets better then. Let me know in Discord or whatever what you think. By the way, guys, real quick, if you haven't joined yet, the Discord link is in the description below. If one of my mods could drop it in live chat, I'd really appreciate it as well. It is the TekShinji community Discord. We got a lot of cool stuff going on there. Not as much lately because, you know, the whole crypto thing went up and down and all that. We're not really about that. Not really. I kind of jumped on the bandwagon because it was popular. Everyone was talking about it. And of course, YouTube likes to pigeonhole you and put you in a little hole. And, you know, I'm okay with that. But crypto really was never really my thing. I just thought it was cool at the time. I built a bunch of cool water-cooled mining rigs and stuff. But I've always been about technology and its implications. Well, guys, thank you for joining us this week. I'm going to go ahead and go into the ending portion. Thank you for joining, guys. Remember, we'll be here same bad time, same bad channel next week. Thank you for everyone that joined, and we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful night. Bye.